What is rich media? Even if you Google it or look in academic archives, you won't find a definitive answer nor a body of research under that name. The closest you might come is multimedia. In the world of advertising, rich media refers to a combination of text, visual, audio, and interactive web elements published online to attract attention and engage the user with an activity. Some examples might be an ad that responds to your cursor when you roll over it, offers you a video to watch, or guides you into some form of input. In this series of videos, we intend to expand on that definition. Rich media isn't just about what happens when the user engages with text, visuals, sound, and interactive elements, whether separately or integrated together. It is about why they are engaged with rich media. What learning needs are being served? What are students doing while engaged with it? And then how are their individual experiences with rich media utilized to achieve learning goals? So when we consider using rich media, we are embracing more than a particular medium. We are embracing a multi-layered instructional strategy. So why should we consider using rich media in our course? How does the syntax, searchability, or interface of a technology intersect with our cognitive functions? Do certain media stimulate our senses in a way that influences learning more effectively than others? The last question is the most critical. Whether the choice of media influences learning is part of a classic education research argument between Richard E. Clarke and Robert Kozma and others. In 1983 and in later papers, Clarke argued that, quote, media do not influence learning under any conditions, and that media are vehicles that deliver instruction and have no more influence on learning and achievement than does the truck that delivers groceries influences our nutrition. Clarke's position assumes a framework of learning that involves the transfer of knowledge objects from an instructor or instructional system to the learner, and suggests that no one single medium, given equal resources, would cause learning better than any other. In practice, he says, choices for instructional media are made primarily out of feasible cost, not necessarily the ideal affordances of a given medium. Kozma's rebuttal is to claim that, quote, media characteristics affect the structure, formation, and modification of mental models, and stimulate different physiological responses and behaviors that can be leveraged for instructional tasks. In contrast to Clarke, Kozma embraces a constructivist framework for learning, where the learners are actually constructing knowledge through cognitive interaction with their environment. Thus, media, or mediated information, are a means for learners to interact within a given situation and are indeed a relevant factor in supporting learning. If we are to embrace Kozma's constructivist perspective, then we must think of media as part of the learner's environment, with its sights, sounds, conventions, cues to respond, and so on. This is a description of media. So what is the rich part of rich media? If rich is a relative term, what is rich media richer than? This is probably why the term is hard to define. Generally, rich media implies a medium that is non-text based, and in some conversations it is framed somehow as more than just text. This is misleading though. As we will discover in the next segment, each medium operates on our senses and cognitive faculties in different ways. The value in rich media is how we connect its stimuli in complementary ways with other stimuli. In the next segment, we will look at the effects of various media on our senses and which media are stronger at stimulating them.